So the moment you enter into Framer, let's say you've created this new file and it just opened here, you'll be able it will be given a basic template of home, about, contact, and 404 if you have chosen a template. Now, if this is confusing, I can start from first. So let me go back and actually start a new one. So let's say new, and it allows you to create a blank project which will give you a 404 page. That's about it. Or you can use a starter site as well, so it will give you a responsive starter site including navigation elements that you can quickly edit and keep it going. There is a SaaS template, a blog template for CMS items. There's a rebrand template probably for, you know, project deliverables. And then there is more other templates that are available. Just take your time exploring. It's a lot of fun. And you will learn from all of these different templates that are actually available. Let's go ahead and actually take the blank site. Like I explained, the first blank site looks like this, and it will come with the basic desktop thing. On the left side, the insert is selected by default. You can just click on this and you will actually be able to see pages, which is where your customers or users will see these pages on the website. And there's a CMS, which is for blogs, categories, whichever information that you want to share in a repeatable fashion. And then there is Canvas, which is for SEO or any Figma like items. Like you want to draw an image, you want to drop some items, you can use this as a Canvas page to do that, right? There's also layers, so this considers this as the base layer. And then there is assets. This is where you define the base of the website. Like, hey, I want to have this typeface, I want to have this subtitle at this size, at this link, this is how I want the links to look like, all of that. Right now everything is defined in Inter Classic, but if you want to change the typeface, it's as simple as selecting edit title here, and you can change the font. All options from Google are available, you can just select them. But if you don't have one from Google, you can upload them from your computer by just uploading the fonts that you actually require. If you upload all of them, they're going to take time to actually get there. So just go ahead, take those. For now, I'll just say, hey, let's see if okay, let's just so no to sans. Let's just do that, right? And you go back, you can edit the color, the transformation, like you want it uppercase only and things like that, or you want decoration like underline and things like that. You want to add breakpoints, like in mobile version it should look like this, in tablet version it should look like this. This is totally up to the designer who's working on it, if you want to define it at that level. But kind of just get used to that language, that this is how we're going to start standardizing this. And you can even define the paragraph, the letter, the line height as well, in EMs or in pixels or in percentage. I would personally prefer percentages because it's far easier. Like for example, 120% of 40 pixels is easier for the system to calculate, and for us, instead of taking a guess and editing it based on different line heights. Small simple tricks. Yeah, you can also do that same for subtitle. You can go ahead and just search for Noto Sans at that end. Section title also, I just want to change it to Noto Sans. And paragraph, I think we can change it to, I don't know, just thinking. What about Manro? I think Manro looks better. We can do that. Yes. And for link, it will essentially take in the text properties from paragraph, but you can change the color of default color. Like I want to change this to say, an orange or something for now. And then you can say the decoration is normal. But if you want to say by default give an underline, that's possible. And then if you want to show a hover color separately, you can do that, or you can just let go of that completely. You don't need to have a decoration as well. You can do the opposite direction. And if you have already clicked on a link, it shows a current state, right? So that state also can be defined here, and it kind of makes it easy for people to recognize that, hey, I've already clicked on this link, right? So you can also kind of choose this orange but kind of make it like slightly dull, so people know they've already done that, right? So this is the components. And if you're defining any components for this page, and code as well, they can be shared with the entire team that is going to get access to it. So more collaborators can be added and people will know that this exists, right? So let's go ahead and in the layers, I'm just going to go ahead and insert. Because I'm using templates for this, I just want to use the existing components and create the page. Let's go ahead and get a navigation. So you'll be able to see multiple types of navigation bars here, header and footer. So I go ahead and just get probably a basic header. Just drop this here, and it will just going to expand the layers according to this dimensions. By default it's 1200. So I'm just going to use the top button, very similar to Figma and Sketch. You can just move the elements up and down, but within this is the symbol for stack. This is essentially saying that you're going to stack this out in the horizontal direction. Very similar to how you would approach auto layout in Figma. A little difference, quite a bit of difference. You have to understand the width, the height, the fixed height, and the relative height. A little bit of concept that you might have to get used to. But as a designer, if you're not used to code, but if you're used to code, this would be the super fast building. So let's go ahead and add two more components. I want to add, let's say, I'm going to say hero section. We have a lot of hero sections here. I just want to add in, like, say, let's do, let's see, do layout. Yeah, we have this. Oh, yeah, you have a ton of sections here. You can use any of these. For now, I just want to add this. I'll just drop this here. It'll just take a second for it to get added. And you can see that it's kind of getting cut, right? So we'll just kind of do this because it just went up. So I can just come and pull it and align it to this point, like kind of like how you're used to with Figma, right? But you can see it's getting cut. So what you need to do is just click on the desktop here. Instead of fixed, you need to change it to fit content. And anytime you keep adding elements, it'll keep fitting the height for itself. So turn this on if you're not able to see enough components in this. And the next thing that I want to add, you can see they're still behaving like layers here. I want to add, like, say, let's see, layout. I want to add something like this, probably. You can see the lines guiding me to just add that. It's sitting here. It's a grid. So you can, like, kind of add one more if you want. You can see that it just adjusted itself. If you don't want it, you can go ahead and press delete and it just takes care of itself. So for this context, I just want to remove this and I want just 3 of them. That's good with me. And then finally, I want to, like, kind of make sure that these are all relative, because if you are moving into mobile and tablet, the relative breakpoint, the relative needs to be taken care. Otherwise it's going to stay fixed and you have to go keep adjusting in the mobile and the tablet, right? So just make sure that's taken care. Then you go to layers, which is going to go ahead, add another element. I want to add probably, let's see, elements here. We have breadcrumbs, we have paginations, we have titles, we have all these tables. Very interesting. Yeah, you can even add logos. So I think I will add this set of logos. This kind of, it's like a landing page, right? So you will have set of logos and stuff. So I'll move this logos up because I want this. So like Figma, you can just move the layers up or down and that will be super easy to move it, right? So between these two, I want to actually add like a scrolling gallery or something. We can do that, or just few images there. So I can do that. So I don't know why I keep going to assets. All right, so we can actually go down to layout. Yeah, so I think this should be here. We'll just add that in. Done. I don't think I have a need for this, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that, right? As simple as that. And then I actually want to add like one final element on pricing, because typically landing pages do tend to have that. So I'll just go ahead and say pricing tables. So you can actually see, once you scroll down in elements, you'll be able to add a pricing table. Where are we? Yes, here we are, a decent pricing table. I think one pricing table for now. Just do that. Yes, so you can see they're again, kind of sitting out. pricing, simple one, get pro now, clear action icon. And then I want to actually insert one final thing, which is the footer. Yeah, I just want to do this basic one. Yeah. Okay, so this was added, and you can also see that it's a basic footer. There's nothing fancy about it. But then after this, I want to add like a email sign up. This typical landing pages have that. So just do, yeah. So there are a bunch of things you can embed from Mailchimp, HubSpot, Review, anything that you have as email thing. But I just want like a basic form or something. So we have this. I'm just going to use this. Just add this here. Awesome, right? So all this is done. And let's assume for now I've not made any changes to the content, but let's assume that we're going to add a breakpoint. So the simplest way to do that is just go ahead, click on the breakpoint and say tablet. It'll kind of start squeezing itself in if the elements have that taken care. So you can see that the width is relative, and if the I auto is there, it's taken care. But you can see that this is off because for a simple reason that it has said that the width is fixed. This is the reason why it did not squeeze itself down to this. So what we need to do is, and I didn't do that, this is a element default. So we need to go ahead, select all these elements, just make sure that they're given the width as fill, right? And you can instantly see that it has squeezed itself down there. So the fill element actually says the box container size, you fill it instead of fixing itself into a lower size of things. So make sure you do it in the desktop so it kind of trickles down into the mobile version as well. So let's go ahead and add the further layout, which is the phone layout. And you can see that the logo for the navigation wasn't set up, right? So let's go ahead and see why. Yeah, I guess it has added something here, so we'll just go ahead and delete that. I'll just add the asset of the navigation. So framer, I want the menu icon. Yeah, so let's go ahead, insert. Remember, I'm just adding to the desktop. And when it's purple in color, it actually means that it belongs to a fixed element, like an existing element. Then they work. You can see that it has already adapted to the mobile version and the tablet version, right? So now let's go ahead and hit publish. In one sense, you actually put together a website. So let's go ahead, hit publish. It has been published to something. I'm going to go ahead, click on connect domain, and I'm going to say local live. Right, so I'm just going to change the file level here. Yeah, pretty this thing. So this is also available, and I am actually able to publish. It's done. You can actually see it on the website officially. I'm going to share my screen, and you can actually see it. So let's go ahead and share. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. You can actually see my screen. Yep, this is the official website I actually made. And you can see that the video is also playing. The logos are looking as intended. And it's an official link that people can actually use it. So you can actually take a look. I'm posting it out here. You can see the link in my chat. Yeah, so yeah, so you can just say this link to published website. So I'm not sure why, but definitely that's a link. I'll add it in. But you can see that, right? It's an official website. Let's look at the responsiveness of it. It works. The templates are beautifully done. So you can just start with the basics. Right now, you can go ahead, muck around, play around with all of it, see what you can change, see what you want to keep, see what things you want to add, all of that. But pretty awesome that I've just designed it and kind of done it. I'm not technically designed right now, but you could do this at this level super quickly using Framework, right? Any questions, just add it down there. Happy to answer them later. Yeah. So not sure why can't see your chat messages. I'll just open the chat. Mm, yeah, still not working. Yeah, no worries. Send me a link later for sure. I'll be able to access this and give you any questions. But definitely, I really feel that the time to launch something has reduced big time. So if you are thinking of making a website, and if you are wondering, okay, how do I do this? How do I not do this? How do I approach custom? You can even do that super quickly using that. So I put together this simple course here. It's a 0 to 1. It's launching on September 19th. I just kind of put together whatever I have learned so far. You can use this link in the YouTube description to actually go ahead and get this. It's like 399. I just wanted to help you out to super get it. So it's a 0 to 1. Like overnight, you can actually get out there. You'll be able to learn what you need to learn and get started. So yeah, this is version one or part one of the stream. All right. So one final thing I actually wanted to share was how do we actually make something custom and put it out on the website. So we have this existing thing. We can actually do it using Framer in the same thing, and we can get started. All right. So here I'm going back to my this thing. So you can actually see that there are tons of things that people have already done. Right now I want to actually add my own elements into this. Let's say I want to add a block of text, right? So let's go ahead. Between this layers, I'm going to insert a frame. You can see this frame here. Let's add this, drag and drop this between this. Okay, so you can see the frame here. And the height, let's not worry about the height. You can just say fill content later, we will do that. But the width is the kind of, let's say, fill, right? So that means that between all components it will just open up. So best part is once you're doing it on the desktop version, it will automatically populate in the tablet and the mobile. You don't have to redo this component. All right, so let's go ahead, add some text. I have some text here. I just want to take this existing text because I just want to say, hey, this is a simple website, right? I can paste it into this frame, or we just do it on the side here. And things happen one below the other. They don't stack on top of each other like Figma. So to make it belong, we kind of go ahead and click on both the components and say right click, create stack, add stack, right? So now they belong with each other. You can go ahead and say they belong one below the other, or they kind of belong side by side. You can do it like this. Let's go ahead and just do this. You'll be able to play. How very simple to like how you do auto layout, you could do the same way here. And if you want to change the style, just as simple as this, click this and just say section title. It'll immediately change the style to that. So let's say subtitle, right? So you're able to see that instant change, and it'll kind of start showing up here as well. So let's go ahead, click on this column. It says fixed. Let's go say fill, and you'll be able to see the fill opened up here, right? So this actually makes it super easy for you. And if you want any distance between these two, you can kind of say start, and you can probably provide a gap here. So you can say 20, something like that. Right, so you can start making components like this. So I want this, so we can just go ahead, group these two. You can add a further stack, make this as the most important thing, and just say fill. One FR is also fill. You can also do that. And here you can click on this and say fit content. That means that the exact height of the content it's going to take. But if you want some padding around it, you can use this column, or if you want to define the custom padding, let's go ahead, and just do this. You'll be able to do that, right? So you can see that opening up. Now I don't need this frame. I'm going to remove this. Just click hit default. If you don't need this tag as well, you can do that, or you can just make this into a paragraph kind of thing. So what you can do is just click on these columns. Instead of side by side, you do one below the other, and instead of fixed, make it fit content, and it will come one below the other. You can change this thing into paragraph. Go back, just say paragraph, and you can see that it's happening. So zoom in, make your text. You can say custom text and more. This year. Make beautiful websites in a matter of few seconds. If you know the concepts. It's just for fun. And then you can make sure that it's fill, it's auto. Click on this, make sure it's fill and auto, and then kind of make sure it's aligned. You can see that it's kind of having a certain alignment with this. Make sure it's taken care that way. Let's go ahead and see if it's translating the same. Not right. You can see that it's kind of out of this thing. So just click on this. Let's see where it has said fit. Just say fill. Make sure everywhere, see width is fixed. Just make sure it's fill, or type in 1FR. Just say fill. That's it. Fit content on the height. Okay, let's see how it's run. Translating well into mobile, and here. The text is kind of cutting out here, so maybe you can just say, fill here as well, and then it kind of opens up. Or you can go ahead and just make sure it's working properly here. So instead of, changing all of this, just say wrap. Let's go back 2 steps. Click on the whole element, and here you can just say fit content. And here you're going to go ahead and say distribute wrap. Yes. I don't know why we're having this issue. Just a sec. So this is something that you will learn while you're figuring out all of this. That, and to publish, I just need to hit publish or Command Shift P on Mac. And let me just say, let me reshare my screen actually. I don't know why I have to keep resharing, but you can see my website. This is my old website. I didn't have this text here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and refresh it. Text is here, right? It's as simple as that.